Okay, wanted to do an unboxing and just a look at this. This is not, by far, not anything new. I think this has been out for probably a couple of years now at least. But this is from Magic Square. It's like a third party or some off brand. You know, it's not a true Transformers, but you know, there's a lot of these brands that make like pretty nice alternatives and to you know, Hasbro or Takara, you know, actual Transformers, that stuff that they haven't or won't do for some reason, or maybe they can do it a little bit better in some ways. But yeah, these are great offerings. I think, I don't know what they were new back then. I mean, this is new too, but I got this for roughly high 30s, more or less $40, I think. Which this is the MS-B43S Shadowmaster. That's what they call them. Can't use Transformers, but obviously just the coloring and style of the text. We can't say Mirage because that's, I don't know, they just have to use a different name. But he looks pretty good. This, at least as far as I'm aware, this is, I think, the second version of him, where they added back some grays or silver color onto parts of him. And we'll see this in a moment. I think the one before that, I think it's just a B43, MS-B43. You don't quote me on that, but there was another version, I believe, prior to this, which has a little bit more, not a little more, but it was more G1 cartoon accurate. So there's a lot more like light blue, where you would see silver on this in a moment. Which does look, that looked pretty nice. I wanted to get that, but it's about double the price. I think you're looking at close to around $80, and then with shipping and tax, you know, 90, almost pushing 100, which I didn't want to do. And to be honest, to look between the two, this actually looks better. I guess technically this is a bit more toy accurate in some ways with the silver. And I know there are other brands that make it a little bit larger. I think Fans Toys probably makes one of the nicest, like, masterpiece style of Transformers. I don't remember what his name is from Fans Toys, but they do a lot of pretty nice Transformers. And I think in the kind of masterpiece kind of design realm with the size and complications and intricacies and really nice transformations that really show off both the alternate mode, the vehicle mode, and the robot mode equally. So let's get this open. Oh, before we do, they have like similar like little stats here. They don't. The only thing they're missing is probably like the verbiage that tells you like a story or describes the character, of the toy or from the series. But I was looking at this the stats here. Right? You can obviously see it, but these were more hidden in the original like cards that you could get with the toys back in the 80s. Right, you have to have this special red film to be able to cut through all the fuzz and see the graph line more clearly. But you don't have to here. Even if you did, you could kind of make it out anyways on the old ones. But I was curious if this actually matches up with the one from the G1 toy. And according to all the, it's the same number of lines in the grid and all the different, qualities or characteristics. They actually do match up. I did enough of them where I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure all of the rest of them match up to the stats of the original one. Like if this was skill, it's 10. If it's firepower, this is 6, and so forth. And it actually does match up with the ones from the original toy. So let's just open. Again, this is nothing new, but it's new for me. I've been wanting a nice Mirage figure that looked very G1 accurate. I didn't really want to go back to the actual G1 toys. I like to get something that's been done up nicer actually than the original one. So here we go. Take them out. And this comes with 2 accessories, a blaster, like a shoulder cannon, or rather rocket. And that's pretty much it. A set of instructions. And I may just quickly, briefly go over that before I attempt to do a transformation on this guy. Let me move this down slightly so it's a little bit more front facing. Hopefully the camera will hold in this position. And I just got to make a slight adjustment. Good enough. So I just get a little light closer to him if I can. Let me see. And I believe it looks like his head should move a little bit. Yep, articulates. This guy is small, and as for comparison, I brought out the Studio Series Jazz to compare. Yeah, I just wish they had scaled them up. I swear I checked the measurements on this before buying it, and it felt like when I was the numbers. I forget the numbers, but when I was looking at it and I matched and I put like a tape measure next to Jazz just to see like what does that really mean in size. I thought it was just like maybe like a little bit lower, maybe just a hit length lower in height, but this is quite a big difference. But I am like not too hard of a stickler on, like that hardcore on trying to get all the toys and, to be not only G1 accurate, but like to be perfectly scaled amongst each other. That's not as important to me. Because if you think about it, the original toy line, all of them were, some of them were pretty close, but then across the whole line, they were never really truly in scale with each other anyways. And so, you had Constructicons that were actually about this size too, where they're supposed to be much larger, at least comparable to, regular standard Autobot or, Trooper size. I was going into this, but I wanted to get at least, my goals were just to get like a pretty nice example of particular characters, and I think these, and whether they are in scale with each other, that's secondary. As long as it's a pretty nice example, like for instance, like the ones here, I forget, is this MFT or MTF? These guys over here, these triple changers, they look great in in all the forms that you can transform them into. But they are a bit smaller compared to like say Shockwave and like Studio Series, or not Studio Series, but well, yeah, some of these are Studio Series Transformers here, real ones. And these are, third market brand, but it looks really good. I mean, Astro Train looks a hell of a lot better than the Studio Series one that they put out. And even, well, Blitzkrieg is pretty good in robot form. I guess if you would call them Studio Series. Though I don't think they're just saying that. I think he's considered, was it under the Legacy line? But yeah, but then the other modes, not so much, I think. Well, maybe some of them, but robot mode was okay. But definitely Astro Chain suffered in robot mode for the latest Studio Series. And I'm glad I got these guys because they look pretty good for what they are. Anyways, back to Mirage here. So I'm going to call Mirage because that's what this basically is, and that's basically what I bought them to represent. Very simple set of instructions, I think. Like how many steps? 19 steps total. Okay, I'm going to try to quickly study this and then get into it. But let's see, is a picture, how it's supposed to look like, fully decked out, complete. No, surprisingly. So we'll just take a look here. I believe the blaster should just attach to, let's see, does this rotate? I think it does rotate, right? Because I believe it goes, Yeah, it has to rotate. There you go. Tripping. So yeah, there's a tab here that has to go right in the back here, or alternatively on this. But I believe this is the usual side that he has, like a shoulder rocket, or what you want to call this, mounted. So aim it up higher so it can swivel and all that. I think it's in a ball joint inside there. I think this is how he looks like when he's finished. I gotta I haven't messed with this since I just opened it, so I'm not exactly 100% sure where the back is. It supposed to be like this, or does it close down? I think it's supposed to be like this. We'll just leave them like this for now. It's a picture. Nope. And the blaster just goes in the hands. You can see it rotate a bit. Nicely sculpted, actually. It's got a bit of a trigger finger out, ready to hold this, and it goes in fairly securely. And there you go. I think, again, all the silver parts and even the gray parts, I think on the other version were in like this light blue. And it's okay. I mean, again, it does look more G1 accurate, because I guess they couldn't do the grays and silvers really in the cartoon anyways. So, but that's the way it is. And I guess, yes, I think, he should be able to pivot. Yeah, he can pivot his ankle out a little bit, kind of independent of this wheel, but he can. So you can get him pretty well posed. He's got a bit of a hip. Arms go out. This goes rotates. If you want to go, I think, sideways more. I wonder if, no, not really. It can't go there. I was thinking, can it pivot out more, but it's only goes, if you're gonna go out, it goes up like this. I showed you that the head swivels, it rotates, can go duck down, head up, and all that, left, right, tilt, little how it tilts. So he's pretty articulate, and let's say his hips, I don't see. Do these move out of the way? Really? I was thinking his legs should move up even. Yeah, there we go. Just wasn't 100% sure. Looked like it looked pretty solid at first, but yeah, the hips can go up. So we can get into some more dynamic poses of some sort. Can you go out wide? I don't think so. Just looking at the way this joint is, I can't imagine the hips. I don't think the hips can like spread out. He can't do like a split. I think he has some limited mobility to widen his stance slightly, it looks like. But other than that, I don't think it's supposed to go way out to the side. And I guess that's pretty much it for this character in robot mode. I would pose him better. And these seem to get potentially knocked loose a little bit easy. Comes out like that. I think they're just supposed to rest, of course, closed up. And there we go. Sorry, nothing pretty exciting poses. Let's try to transform him. Should I have you suffer watching me struggle with this, or let's just try. Maybe I should do it in a fast forward sequence. So let me pause. Let me get back to this in a second. Okay, that was a little bit trickier than I thought. It just took like, I don't know if you can tell from the time lapse, but I was saying that this was first time transforming it. It's a little bit trickier than I thought, but I think basically it just takes a little bit of, I could probably straighten out the head that's back underneath here, but it doesn't seem to be affecting it too much. So I'm not gonna, there we go, just pushed it a little bit. That's close enough, I guess. Okay, so it looks like it's just a matter of pushing and fitting and snapping things into place, and eventually it'll form up into the, fix the camera here for a second, it'll form up into what it should look like correctly. And this looks about right. A lot more little tiny panels and things to flip in and out of than I thought they could fit into this tiny thing, but in the end, this is it right here. It's balanced. It's actually on all fours. It's not like ricketing around, like one side is higher. The wheels do not move that well. This one's better. This one is getting stuck on something. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta adjust the wheels. Maybe it's just the plastic is not made that good. Not that I'm going to do much rolling. These roll freely. It's just this one from mine. I'm not sure if there's something that I did differently or incorrectly for this particular wheel. But all the other ones seem relatively more free rolling. But anyways, these don't have much grip anyway, so on a smooth surface it just basically will just not rotate and just slide. Maybe something more grippier, it could roll it, you know, I should get the wheels to roll more, but anyways, this is mostly kind of a display piece. Anyways, but it looks good. I think it looks like how he should look like. And I think it's pretty nice. I think this could definitely use some extra deco. You might, I don't know, I would imagine maybe Toy Hacks or somewhere. They might have some, labels to add to it to just make it a little bit more detailed. You at least need an Autobot symbol, but I think maybe a few other spots could use some detail. Like I feel like there should be something on the tail, but I don't know. Overall, I like the look of it. I forget who makes the other one. It's larger. Looks pretty nice too. I was thinking about it. I was like 100 something. I don't know. Might be pushing 200. Maybe not quite that much, but maybe like 100, like 150-ish. And it says Jitane is instead. It's with a G, which I don't think it should. It should be with a C. There's only a little defect in the paint. It's too bad. Most of it, the paint was fine except for this part. Well, display it on this side if I'm going to do it in a car mode, but I don't think I will. Got a little tiny steering wheel up in there. And the engine looks nice and detailed. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. It is a bit small, and of course in vehicle mode you got no place to store these. Pretty certain there's no place you can snap fit these into place. Well, actually, this might fit up here potentially. Maybe not. Anyways, here we go. You want a pretty nice, if you're short on space and you want a pretty nice looking G1 style, Mirage, for well under $100, I think this is a pretty nice one to go with. I got this on AliExpress. I'm sure you can find it on eBay or maybe some other places that sell these kind of toys. Yeah, I think overall it's a pretty good representation. Again, he's a little small. These will be set in a separate display where the size won't matter. Well, let's say it's they're like off-brands or not the genuine Transformers, such as the Astro Train and Blitzwing. Did I say Blitzkrieg? Blitzkrieg before? Yeah, Blitzwing is what I meant to say earlier. Yeah, so then they are in their own like kind of subcategory and scale, because he's not going to obviously scale too good next to Jazz. You saw how small he was. He's like here he could be Jazz's kid. He's only this big, I think, height-wise. Not much taller than the length of this. So yeah, I probably would do that. Anyways, yeah, I'm not going to transform him back. You've seen him in robot already. Not much more to it. It's pretty straightforward. If you do you like this jazz? Do you have a which one is your favorite out of the ones? I'm sure if you go larger, you can do that. It's not Fan Toys. I can't remember the other brand that makes a pretty decent Mirage. Otherwise, Fan Toys it's usually about $200-300, I think, at least. They're kind of the most, to me, they look like the nicest ones, but they're a little too expensive and fancier than I need it to be, especially if they're just mostly going to be on display anyways. Then yeah, I don't need to go to invest that much, spread that money out towards other Transformers. All right, thanks for watching. That's it. Catch you on the next one.